Monday Night Football, Bears Patriots. It was quite a game. I was thinking about it. I think it was probably my favorite Bears game that they've played since probably 2018 against the Rams on Sunday Night Football, when we almost made our good friend Jared cry because it was so cold, and that defense was awesome. And yeah, the Bears. Listen. I'm not even gonna. I don't care about Hank.
No,
at all.
No, definitely.
I'm just excited that the Bears looked good. Like, Justin Fields looked awesome. The Bears put together a competent game. They looked like the team that wanted it more. They looked faster. I was so excited to just see something fun for the first time in a very long time. And now you have to ask, like, why aren't the Bears on primetime more? They probably should.
It's a shame we're not going to get to see them for the rest of the season.
No, they're 1 o'clock for the rest of the season.
That's too bad.
Maybe some flexes, because I don't know.
They're not playing Thanksgiving?
Nope. 1 o'clock. The rest of the season, we're getting robbed of it.
It was good to see Justin Fields run because he wanted to run and not because he had to run.
They had so many good designed runs for him, and okay. So I want to hear from Hank because Hank's going through it, but in terms of like the Bears, and like that was the first time that they put together an entire game plan with Justin Fields as a quarterback. That was his best performance as a Bear, and it started right away. I texted you guys the fact that, like, on the first drive when they were, I don't know, around the 30-yard line, and it was 3rd and 8 or something, they did a pitch play to David Montgomery instead of trying to pass and potentially getting a sack and going backwards. And it was like, hey, they're trying to find the little ways to always move forward and win this game instead of, being like, hey, Justin Fields, try to figure this out with not a great offensive line and not great receivers in these, like, clear throwing downs. And then his runs, his designed runs, his runs where things broke down and he got out of the pocket and, like, made guys miss. It was incredible. I'm the happiest I've been in a long time for the Bears, and it was fun to watch. And I'm just happy. I'm happy.
You know what?
I'm content.
You know why you're happy, and I can see that you're glowing. It's because when you get to watch a team that's got like a fun young quarterback leading your team, like all of us got to experience over the course of the weekend.
That's true.
Like you get a buzz
Heinicke.
going. Like it makes the rest of your week that much better. And
having a guy.
It improves your mood to have a guy.
Yeah.
So congratulations. I think Justin Fields took a big step towards being a guy this week.
And the whole time I was like, it was not until the fourth quarter started where I was like, wait, are the Bears going to win this game? Because it was also like playing with fire. I don't know if you saw, they had 5 fumbles and they recovered all of them.
Yeah, they're really good.
There was that moment I was talking about on Sunday when we were talking about the Jets. Like, I was just waiting for the disaster to happen. And I'm not. I jokingly tweeted out that I see them winning the rest of the season. That obviously isn't the case, but baby steps forward. Justin Fields looking confident. All these things make me a happy person. I'm not going to delude myself and pretend they're a good team, because they probably still have a long way to go, and Micah Parsons is probably going to wreck some shit on Sunday. But I'm just happy.
And going up against maybe the best coach to ever do it, and doing that against him in his house.
Belichick told us, though. He did.
He
said
went
Justin
on
Fields
about
is a threat every time he touches the ball. He did. We all laughed, and I laughed too, but he went on for 8 minutes about how explosive the Bears are, and it actually proves he still got it.
Now, I think that the game turned when Mac Jones broke the code and he went in studs up and a challenge directly
on Javon Brisker,
into Javon Brisker's dick. I don't think people were saying, oh, that hit his balls. I think he went just straight up toe cleat into the dick.
And then Brisker made an unreal interception, one-handed interception that I guess now would be a good segue of where you are, Hank, because after that interception, Mac Jones comes out, Bailey Zappi comes in. Probably the most electric 2 drives,
of all time.
I tweeted, I was like, I am petrified of Bailey Zappi because he's a gamer, and like it felt like the momentum had completely shifted. I was like, this is going to be a bad ending of the game. The Bears are screwed now, and then it just didn't happen.
I have a lot of thoughts, but I will say, when those 2 drives happened, like I cracked a couple beers. I got so excited. I was like, it's Monday night. It's raining. It's kind of just, let's watch this game. It's probably going to be ugly. Bears stink.
I think
Patriots aren't that good.
Patriots
this is what my mindset was.
This is in the moment.
And then
here's the thing.
The
Patriots
2 drives
fans,
happened, and I was so fired up. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
I don't even blame you for being like, this is holy shit, we lucked into another great quarterback right here. Because if I was a Patriots fan, I'd probably feel the same way. And even as a non-Patriots fan,
thought it.
I saw that happening, and I was like, good for Hank. Boston sports fans, you deserve to have a beautiful young quarterback. You guys have suffered for
We have two.
almost a season and a half. Do you? I feel like you got two half guys.
And here's what I'll say.
Hank, the old saying, if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. I think you've got
an old saying.
You've got two half quarterbacks. That might actually
guys.
make you. You've got a quarter of a guy right now.
I have a bone to pick with you guys.
If Bailey
Oh, not a
Zappi and
bone.
Mac Jones like maybe got on each other's shoulders and put a trench coat, yeah, they could get into an R-rated movie.
Before I get into my bone to pick with you guys,
They do look almost exactly the same
They
too.
They do.
It's like Bailey Zappi looks like Mac Jones with just like a little bit, like if he went to prison for a while.
Yeah.
Like a more sinister version.
What bone do you have to pick with us? I haven't even talked shit. I'm literally just happy the Bears could have done that against anyone, and I would have had the same feeling of just contentment that Justin Fields finally looked good.
Before I get into that, if you will let me
Okay, go ahead.
eloquate.
Bone pick away.
Mm-hmm.
I've somehow in the past month or two, I've joined the Sportstown beat. Like it's become, one of my main jobs, one of my main roles in life is covering sports towns and whether or not they're good or bad. I don't know how it happened, but it has happened. And everyone says I'm a homer, everyone says I'm a Pats homer, and everyone says I'm trolling other fan bases when I do it. But the fact that Patriots fans were booing Mac Jones, who played well last year, took us to the playoffs, and was a first-round draft pick, and then we're chanting for Bailey Zappi, that's a bad Sportstown move. That I did not like that at all. And if you're Mac Jones, it's like everyone loves you. I don't care who you are. If you are a starting quarterback and you have an entire stadium booing you, your home stadium booing you and cheering for the other guy, like that's not easy to overcome. It's hard, especially when you're coming off an injury too.
If you were a guy, you could overcome it though.
That's and this is where I can get into the bone to pick. You guys are supposed to be, you should take. You're the number one sports podcast, number one football podcast.
Fact. That's
and
just
you
a
are just
fact.
poisoning people's minds.
Why?
With the fact that game by game you can decide whether or not you're a guy or not a guy.
Yeah, true.
It's
That's what we
not
do.
that
That's
simple.
the point
no,
of this.
No, you're
No,
talking like a guy that has never been in
Wait.
purgatory.
Hold on.
Trying to figure out whether or not your guy exists or he's not the guy. You've had Tom Brady for what feels like 2 decades.
It was.
So you've never gotten to watch football through our eyes the way we see the game. And through our eyes, we're always wondering if our quarterback
And
is
I'm
gonna be
not
this
saying
person.
Justin Fields is a guy yet. He's
You
guy
just
fluid.
did.
No, he's guy fluid. He's guy fluid.
Then we have two
He goes
fluid
back
guys.
and forth
We have-
between being a guy and not a guy.
It's the guy narrative.
Yeah, he's allowed to choose his own path into becoming a guy, and I'm going to respect that.
And so that's what I'm saying. Where it's like it's game by game. You're not gonna. I also
Okay,
don't
but
appreciate the fact that people are trying to make one choice or the other. You
Hold
got to
on,
see
Hank,
film.
hold
You
on.
got to get
Hold on,
experience. You got to
Hank.
get
Hold
some
on,
reps under
hold
your
on.
belt.
Can I
Billy's-
just wait? Can I just boil down what Hank just said real quick? You're telling, pardon my take,
Yes.
not to be knee-jerk reactions, overreact, have bad takes. Do you know what the show's
Yes,
about?
but when it comes to
We
me
are the kings
and
of
my
bad
team,
takes.
I don't appreciate it, and I think you guys are doing a disservice
We
to
are the
greater football community.
We sit on a throne of bad takes.
What if we just sat here every episode and we were like, there's
Give him some time.
There's some.
yeah. I see some nice things, but we're gonna have to wait till year 3 to make a judgment.
I think
That's what you should
I
say.
think what Brandon
That's the truth.
Staley's doing is very interesting, and sometimes his methods work and sometimes they don't. And here's why, according to math.
he could
wanna
be.
do
He
that?
could, I could see the argument for. I could see the argument against. I don't really know.
Hank,
That's how I feel.
That's
how I feel.
that's a terrible
It could be
podcast.
Mac. It could be Zappy. You just got to give him some time.
No,
you
you
got to
gotta
give him
shoot.
some reps. I also think it's like, Bailey Zappi tried not to throw the Patriots under the bus, and in doing so, threw him under the bus. He got asked, did you take any first-team reps this week? And he said, that's a question for, and then he stopped himself and said, you know what, we're focusing on the Jets.
Yeah,
Which
Belichick.
obviously means he didn't get first-team reps and probably should have. If he did get first-team reps, he probably could have won the game. Mac Jones was hurt. And
I
he was
do
getting
agree-
booed.
all
So
right,
it's like,
I do agree
there's
with
no,
you.
you can't take that game and make a decision one way or the other. I do think, though, after the game, I'm back on, like, it's Mac's job to lose.
Okay, hold on.
The
I want
best
to hear
thing
what
that could've
Billy broke
happened.
down.
Because Zappy could have
hold on.
played well.
the best thing that could have happened for Mac Jones is for Zappy to go out there and play that second half the way that he did.
And I agree with you, Hank. I think Belichick made a mistake in that if you're going to start Mac Jones, you just got to let him be the starter. Because when does this doesn't work. Like when you go back and forth, college teams try to do it and it doesn't work in college. Like it's he kind of put himself in a no-win situation, put Mac Jones in a no-win situation, Bailey Zappi. Like if you think it's really going to be Bailey Zappi, he should have started the game. And if you think it's really going to be Mac Jones, he should have finished the game.
The mainstream media and the clickbaitaholics and the people like Big Cat and PFT, like they're just going to focus on quarterback play. But the reality of the situation is they couldn't stop fucking Billy Football if he was the quarterback of the Bears last night. They couldn't stop him.
You call him Billy Justin Fields?
Probably better.
No, Justin Fields was running quarterback sweeps that were godly.
They did have some designed runs. No, all right. So I'll
But
say
that's
this.
where it's like everyone's talking about Mac
Okay.
Jones and Bailey Zappi, and it's
You're
like, let's
right.
talk about the games. Let's talk about the X's and O's.
You're right.
Let's talk
Hank.
about defense.
The Bears.
What are we doing here?
The Bears look like the team that was somehow better prepared, and they looked faster and stronger. And you also had Trent Brown had like 6 penalties. So yeah, you're right. The like as a totality of the game, the Patriots did not look ready. But of course, we're going to talk about the quarterback because that's American sports, baby.
I'm a defense guy.
It's
personally.
the number one position
Defense
in all
wins
of
championships,
sports.
not guys.
So where are you at? Where are you at?
I am back on. It's Mac Jones's job to lose, and if he plays poorly, then it's Bailey Zappi's job to win. And if he plays well, then it's Bailey Zappi's job. Bailey Zappi? Doesn't matter that they won or lost. If he played well in the second half, I would have been like he needs to be the starter going forward.
Right.
Uh-huh.
He showed, besides those first 2 drives, which were again.
That first throw was not even a good throw. Devontae Parker just made an incredible catch.
And it got tipped.
Yeah.
But it just the adrenaline and like the energy and obviously, again, bad sports time move to boo Mac Jones, but the energy when that play happened and those 2 drives happened was great. Everyone was fired up. But then he really showed nothing in the second half and had some bad interceptions, some bad throws. He looked short. We watched the night in the gambling cave when we threw on all the old highlights. We threw on the Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield college game, Oklahoma, Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that game and you could tell how different Pat Mahomes looked when he was like dropping back. You could just tell. I don't know what it was, what he changed, but Bailey Zappi looked like Patrick Mahomes in college. When he dropped back, he was kind of flat-footed. He just didn't really look too fluid. Something's got to change there. That's my, QB analysis.
Okay.
He looks short
do you
and
think-
flat-footed.
So you kept saying that you thought about last year. Mac Jones took you to the playoffs last year.
Fact.
You got to the playoffs, I think, with Mac Jones.
Fact.
I don't know if you could say he took you there, because there were some games where you ran the ball like every single snap except for 3.
Well, it was -25 degrees.
Yeah, but wind doesn't
and windy.
matter. But wind doesn't matter, Hank.
Winning does.
It does. And then once you got to the playoffs, like Mac
I
Jones
agree.
became a guy where he was ill-equipped to win against a good team in the playoffs. And now this year, Bailey Zappi has shown more flashes than Mac Jones has shown.
Agreed.
So
He had the entire second half.
Let's do a blind resume.
He had the entire second half and he didn't have to even play like amazing. He just had to play decently solid, show some flashes.
Yep.
He showed no flashes.
Showed flashes in the first half. But
it was a bad throw and it was,
Okay, we're doing blind resume, okay? Bailey Zappi is the first quarterback, but he was drafted in the first round. Mac Jones is the second quarterback, but he was drafted in the 4th round? That's when we got Zappi?
4th or 5th, yeah.
So if Mac Jones was drafted in the 4th round and Bailey Zappi was drafted in the 1st, which guy would you be completely behind?
I'm not completely behind either of them. I would ask, who did Bailey Zappi lead the team to the playoffs last year?
Western Kentucky did go to a bowl game. That is a fact. They also almost won their conference. They played UTSA in San Antonio. Tough place to play. Great game. They lost.
I just think, again, it's like you guys do this,
You're not going to answer the question.
I'm not doing
knee-jerk
anything.
reaction, and the world is falling, and the world is
No.
rising.
No. What do you think every sports show's leading with this morning? Like
They should be talking about the defense.
I'm not. So let me. I was going to ask that. Where are you at on a whole with the Patriots team? Like you have the Jets next week. Are you worried?
Yeah. Yes. Very worried. I wish we could go to the game. We work on Sundays. It's a shame.
That is a shame.
Otherwise, I mean,
People
Billy,
want
you
to
can
see it on
go.
the stream.
No.
I know.
Oh, what if we did like a competition between the two of you where you have to eat something real spicy, depending on whichever team wins?
I like that a lot.
down.
I like that a lot.
Billy?
Now that it's my team, 100%.
Okay.
So are you like? Is this?
we're gonna have another complete weekend of exactly what happened 2 weeks ago, where Billy's going to freak out on all of us.
Yeah.
And like threaten to quit.
Max is saying, please, for PMTV views. All right, Hank, I'll meet you halfway. The NFL is a fucking weird league. Anything can happen anytime. Like, I went into that game last night, and I did not expect that performance from the Bears or Justin Fields because I haven't seen it before. I saw it, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. I also didn't expect a Bill Belichick coach team to play that, like, lackadaisical maybe is the word, but, like, they just didn't feel like they wanted it.
They couldn't stop anything.
But it's week to week, so you never know. So you could be back next week.
We talked about it last year. We've talked about it this year. This whole realization that we're just very mediocre and even if we somehow make the playoffs aren't probably going to do anything is it's hard for me.
It's hard. You're struggling.
I don't really know. Like I don't really know. Like where am I with the Patriots? It's like we could turn it around a lot and maybe make the playoffs and then get smoked again.
So this is one of those moments. This is one of those moments where you wish you were us because I'm going to be living off of like that performance from Justin Fields. He just bought, in my mind, his 5th-year option. Like that's how overreacting I am. And again, I don't think the Bears are a very good team, but I saw something last night that I was like, yeah, let's start running this type of offense where he's running a lot more and it's maybe more Lamar Jackson than it is pocket passer. And Lamar's a good pocket passer, so that's not a knock on Lamar. But, like, use his feet. He's an electric athlete.
He looked really good. It happened last year, too, when we beat the Bills in the weather doesn't matter game. And it was like, oh, we beat the best team in the league. We have the best coach. We can make the playoffs and make a run. When those first 2 zappy drives happened, it's like, oh, this is something special. Like where this could be a run, and then the game progresses, and you're like, no, we kind of just.
It
suck.
was an electric moment. It was. I was sitting there being like, I
started cracking. It was one of those things where it's like
I started
I'm
saying PS5s. Yeah,
I think, Hank, that what you're slowly realizing is that Belichick isn't a magic wand for everything. And you probably going into last year, even the year before when like Cam Newton came out and he played pretty well in that first game, you're like, oh, we got Belichick. We'll be good. We can make it where he's that much better than everybody else that he can turn anything into a good player. But I think what you're discovering is that might not always be true. So on the 5th year discussion, where are we at with Mac Jones in the 5th year?
I just gave Justin Fields his.
He got it.
Hank, honestly, if you look at
Hank's not answering that question again.
I'll let you know after this week.
Week to week.
Yeah, you got to give him time.
So one more week. We were 6 days too early.
Here's another overreaction I saw last night. People being like, Bill Belichick.
Also, he's not healthy. Until he's healthy, I'm really not going to be able to make a fair decision.
He's got some Grayson Allen in him, though, doesn't he? Like, should we be having the discussion like, is Mac Jones a dirty player? Because with the slide, with the studs up, and remember last year he tried to twist that one dude's ankle off. He's a little bit of a dirty guy.
Competitor.
Hank, looking at the last of the Patriots' offensive drives, we got a fumble, we got a punt caused from a bad down ball, another punt from a bad down ball, 2 interceptions from batted balls. If you have him running with the first team, Bailey Zappi, that fumble's not going to happen. If you have the offensive line drilling those, like trying to like hit guys low when they try to jump and swat it down, that might cause some improvement, a little pass blocking.
Do you guys have Patricia's number?
No.
Fuck.
Why? You want to call him?
Tell
him to get him on the horn with Billy.
Yeah, that's right.
But these are all things that are going to
hold the phone up.
But like then you're going to have a guy who's going to light it up, and it's not. And if he learns the run game, you're going to have a pass first quarterback in a run first offense.
You're making it. I hold my quarterbacks responsible. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I'm not going to just say that all those bad plays and interceptions and shit were not his fault.
Right.
The other thing is there was the overreaction on Twitter last night being like Belichick is an average coach without Tom Brady. Show me any Hall of Fame coach that didn't have great players. That's kind of what you were saying, PFT. Like great players are more important than great coaches are great. Mm-hmm. Like Bill Belichick's the best coach of all time. Not taking anything away from him, but like choose any Hall of Fame coach. They had great players. Mm-hmm. They don't win with nobodies. That's just a fact.
It's interesting because like Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different starting quarterbacks.
He did.
And 3 different starting running backs. That's just kind of interesting.
Yeah, and one other thing I'll say is I had a lot of Chicago people jumping down my throat because the Bulls beat the Celtics, came back and won, dominated. Yeah, it's football and baseball season.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of people being like, ugh.
Well, you did post. You did post a bet that was.
Well, yeah, obviously I bet on the Celtics.
Yeah, right. So,
Patriots teaser.
I mean, it's not the first time. Like, look at my mentions after a bet loses.
But we're moving to Chicago. I'm going to be a Chicago native soon. We've talked about how New York is an absolute joke of a city, and they've never won a championship or done anything. So I root for Chicago's success.
I appreciate that.
I hope
Hank.
that when we're there, they can actually make even just make a championship.
Listen,
and we can enjoy it as a city. It's like if you're going to live in a city, you want the city to be alive and excited and ready to go. I hope that happens.
People will think Hank's pandering, but he was rooting for the Knicks to get Zion Williamson for this exact reason. He's always said he wants the Knicks to be like
and Kevin Durant
good, so that
and then he
there's
went to
something
Brooklyn.
to
That
watch.
doesn't count. But
yeah, it's not that far away.
But like if he was there, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, right there. Okay, so overall,
not a guy. In conclusion,
Justin Fields, guy fluid.
We have a guy.
He's guy sexual.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna. That was the first time that I saw it, and I'm just happy. I'm not saying that I didn't shit talk you. I didn't say anything. I don't care. I'm happy the Bears look good.
And again, we should be talking about the defense, but because Bailey Zappi could have played like the guy, they probably still would have lost. Justin Fields looked unbelievable.
He did. I like those offenses when teams just decide, okay, we're gonna run power. And there's nothing that you're going to be able to do to stop it.
Yeah.
And Billy, the blocking thing is that's a great point. I wasn't thinking about.
Yeah, we got to look into
I think once we figure out the blocking and was it just chop blocking people?
No, but like the Patriots haven't had a short quarterback in how many years?
Doug Flutie.
Yeah. I mean, like. Who knows? Like, who's the offensive line coach? Did he come back?
Scarnecchia?
No,
I'll tell you what. If
now.
Scarnecchia was on this team, I think that we'd see Bailey Zappi. He'd be in the shotgun, and they'd be chopping guys down when they try to jump and swat passes.
I know that sounds a little more like an easy fix scenario, but Zappi, I don't know. I just think Zappi's got so much reps and experience from throwing the ball like 10 times, like 1,000 times more than Mac Jones. That you're in your good hands.
All right, last question about this. Hank, I know you said you're going to go week to week here.
Also, the promo in the beginning, some teams like the Panthers when they did it was like a panther jumping on the stadium. They just did a razor.
Razor, that was crazy.
Like this is how I feel as a Patriots fan.
That was crazy. So, if Mac Jones, I think he's the starter. I don't think Belichick will do this again. If he struggles for the next 2-3 starts,
Zappy. If he struggles next start,
Zappy. What about if he struggles first drive?
No.
Okay.
What about
Mac
first
has
half?
to play the whole next game.
But I'm not. I need to see both. I'm not going to make a hard decision one way or the other. If Mac plays bad one game, Zappy. If Zappy plays bad, it's like you gotta earn it.
There's some weird stuff going on too because Belichick
Maybe give him
said
2
at
games
halftime
each.
to the sideline reporter when he was coming back out on the field. He said that we're not just going to stick with Zappy in the second half. We're going to put Mac Jones in there too.
Yeah.
And so he was allegedly planning on putting Mac Jones.
And then he
back
said
in
the
game.
score got out of hand. And Mac Jones did say after the game that Belichick told him that they might switch up quarterbacks. Like he did give him a heads up beforehand. He actually said that. He's like, he was very transparent in that I could be taken out for Zappy.
I just think the fans booing Mac Jones was
It sucks to be Mac.
classless.
That was a really
sports time.
shitty thing for Mac to have to go
the same
through.
shit with Mitch. It's like you're there rooting for the team. You're not the fucking coach. Root for whoever the coach has in there.
Mm-hmm. So as the voice of Boston sports fans, Hank, you would like them to be nice to Mac.
Yeah, whoever's a starter, cheer for them.
Okay.
You're not
I can
smarter
respect
than
that.
Belichick.
I can respect that.